Okay, I'm gonna try to get you up to speed without crying because this has been like the most stressful couple hours. I don't even know why. This is so commonplace now that it's like, I don't know why I'm freaking out so much, but anyway, Brad, well, my mom woke up with like a scratchy throat, tested for COVID, tested positive. Brad had like this dry cough for the last 12 hours or so, so he tested positive. I tested, like he left and went to my parents' house to test. I tested negative. So I have the kids, I just have the kids downstairs because he hasn't really been downstairs in the last couple of days. And I'm gonna keep them down there. I'm just like making quick trips upstairs to get all of the stuff that we need downstairs so that we can like quarantine down there since he's been up here. I could wipe down all of the surfaces, but with my personality, I'd rather just like eliminate the exposure by putting us somewhere else in the house where he hasn't been like touching everything and potentially coughing on things and all that. So I'm just praying at this point that all the rest of us stay negative. I'm really worried about the babies is what Alice is sitting here smiling. These are the two I'm worried about. Like, I think all of the rest of us will be fine, although you just never know. That's the tricky part, is like one person can be completely asymptomatic and another person can be hospitalized on a ventilator with the exact same strain. I mean, obviously certain risk factors make you more likely to be that latter scenario, but sometimes it just doesn't make sense. So it's still something that we need to be cautious with and be careful if we are able. And I just feel like we're in a position right now where, like, why would we risk it, I guess. I think some people would just be like, oh, well, if you guys have been around him, then you're already exposed. If you're gonna get it, you're gonna already have it. But if there's any possibility that we somehow did not get it yet, then I don't want to continue exposing ourselves by having him be here around us. And he's actually doing fine. He's texted me and he has like this dry cough that he's had for the last, like I said, day or so. And then he has a low grade fever now. But other than that, he said he feels good so far. So hopefully that stays that way too. But I think we're just gonna camp out down here. There were a lot of, look how messy it is. I'm like an anxious person as it is. So this is really taking everything in me to like not be, it's really weird because last night I was up all night. I almost even talked about it on the vlog earlier. This is like one of those weird things with anxiety, but I was up almost all night. I got like very fitful, smells like plastic. Fitful sleep because I was so worried that I just felt really anxious, like something bad was about to happen. I don't even know how to explain it other than, sorry about spinning you guys all around. I just felt like something really bad was about to happen. Not that this is something really bad, hopefully, but I kept checking on the kids. I couldn't sleep. It was really weird. I almost had like a panic attack at one point. My mind was racing. It was just really strange. I just sensed that something really bad was about to happen. And then my mom like texted that she had a scratchy throat and she's like, should I test for COVID? And I'm like, what is even like the protocol now? If you do have COVID, like what's I don't even know. I'm not even up to date on what the quarantine is. And we've been lucky enough to not have had it this far. Luckily, I don't know how. But anyway, I wonder if this is like what I sensed was coming. So Brad's in quarantine till the 14th. He said he's gonna test every day until then. Today's the 10th. And my gut instinct was I need to get the kids out of the house as soon as possible and go somewhere, like a hotel or something, and just quarantine ourselves there just to be away. And then my aunt was like, well, you could come over here. My other aunt said we could come over there, which is awesome, but we've all potentially been exposed. So I don't want to expose them. If we somehow escaped it and they got it and just aren't symptomatic yet, I don't want them to expose us. I'm not sure what to do at this point. It's gonna be really tricky, like doing this by myself for the next 4 days, but I just don't know what else to do. I really, really don't want to expose the babies. That's my biggest fear. So that's where we're at. I think as of right now, we're gonna stay here and just stay downstairs where Brad hasn't been in like a day. And I've got one of the snooze down. I'm gonna run up and get the other snoo and kind of clear out this room, and I'm gonna put the babies and myself in here. And then Berend Lyndle and Eloise will just sleep in their rooms. I guess I'll keep you posted. Quick update. So it's the next day now. We basically didn't do anything last night. We just stayed here at the house downstairs. Didn't go upstairs. Brad was gonna stay with my parents because my mom tested positive. My dad is stuffy, but we're out of tests, so he is gonna test today, but I'm assuming he's positive as well. I don't know if I mentioned that I tested negative. I probably did. So, kids and I are quarantining downstairs, but then I was like, I guess COVID could live on a surface for 2 to 3 days. So I was just gonna try to stay down here for 2 to 3 days until like that time has lapsed and we can go back upstairs without worrying. However, since we're down here, I was like, well, Brad, you can just come home because it's not like we're gonna be up there anyway. And he's basically confining to the bedroom. It's just weird because he said he's basically asymptomatic. Like he doesn't feel bad at all. He had a little bit of a cough. So he feels totally fine today. So it's just weird, like quarantining when you feel fine, but you can still be spreading it. So he's here, he's just staying in the bedroom, and he actually like put a mask and gloves on and wiped down everything in the house last night. We have an air purifier that we have running. So we're doing everything we can. He also went out and wiped down the car because he drove our car yesterday, and I'm gonna take the kids this morning and just get like some breakfast and get out of the house for a little bit. Just do like drive through McDonald's and then maybe play at a park outside. So that's the plan today. We're both gonna test every day moving forward. And like the moment he tests negative, or if I happen to test positive, we're just gonna reintroduce we're just gonna go back to normal, because if I'm positive, then the kids will have, I can't not be around the babies. I'm breastfeeding them. So, and it's probably the best thing for me to be breastfeeding them. So that is the update. I was like weirdly hopeful last night that the babies would have a really good night's sleep. I'm like, this just something has to go well. I was wrong. It was like first night home from the hospital sleep. And I don't know if it's because it was, actually, Ada did great. She did her normal 5-hour stretch, 6-hour stretch at the beginning of the night. But Alice Sue was like, I was worried she didn't feel well because she would not settle until probably 2 in the morning. She was up every 20 minutes, every half hour max, until 2. And then finally went to sleep from 2 to 4:30. Is that right? 2 to 5:30, but Ada woke up at 4:30 to eat. So that was 2 to 4:30 was the biggest stretch of sleep that I got. But I actually feel rested. I almost wish I didn't know. When I wake up, I wish I could not know what kind of night's sleep I got, because I feel like that, I don't know, it just makes you think you know how you should feel. Based on the night of sleep, I should feel a lot worse than I do, I guess is what I'm saying. I feel fine. I feel decently rested, and I'm really hyper aware of if I feel like I need to cough or if my throat feels weird or anything, I'm just really hyper aware of it, and I think I'm fine. So we'll see. What I'm worried about is, I did some research on it yesterday, and they're saying that after exposure, the average person starts showing symptoms about 5 days later, and very rarely as early as 2 days. And my latest exposure, my maximum exposure, would have been Saturday and yesterday morning. So I have a ways to go before I'm in the clear, but what are you gonna do? I think kids do fairly well with it. I don't know specifically about newborn infants, 8-week-olds. I don't want to research that. I just don't want to research it. So I'm not going to even look it up. I'm just going to hope for the best.
20 diapers for everybody.
Are you ready for a new diaper? We've been playing babies this morning. Everybody's a baby. All clean.
Packets for you.
Oh, you need to be burped? Okay. Oh, good one.
Here's the delivery. It should make